Alright, grab your popcorn because this one's gonna be juicy. Ethan Klein is under fire for allegedly being a pedophile. Okay, not really, but we'll get into that. Idubbbz responds to Dad's request to fight him. Hassan responds to allegations that he has a crush on Taylor Lorenz. But not only that, he's apparently doxing people now. Yes, doxing people, and a whole lot more in today's video. Subscribe, please. Let's get into it. So here we can see Idubbbz explaining why he won't box Dad.
Yeah, I mean, I've sparred Dad before, and like I'm gonna be honest, like it was not very competitive. It was no offense to Dad. He's been killing it in the ring, but like it's not really something like obviously I try to do fights that are really competitive that challenge me, and I'm not looking for that. And beyond all of that, I'm trying to find my own peace right now, and it's really hard to fucking fight physically.
I don't get why he's saying this, because he was the one in the first place saying he wanted to fight again. Like, this guy's literally like the most flip-flopping person I've seen in my entire life. So you go try to do a charity event, you completely, utterly decimated by your own actions, by the way, nobody else. You. This was purely you. I mean, Anissa helped throw you down the hellfire, but it wasn't that hard considering you just jumped right into it. And after that failed, you still had the audacity to say you want to box. And someone calls you out and you just say no. Like, this is just clearly him being a wimp. Like, I swear every time I see a video, it looks like his hairline's going further and further back. The stress on this guy from Anissa is just crazy. And my theory is that everyone thinks that Anissa's gonna leave this guy, but I don't actually believe that. I believe that Idubbbz is gonna absolutely stay with her for the rest of the time, and they're gonna ride this out to the bitter end until they're crashing and burning. Because I believe they'd rather have the public perception that everything's fine and not clearly fail in the public eye than to, you know, divorce and everyone just rips into them for what we know is already true, is that Anissa controls this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Anissa's decision. I mean, half of Idubbbz's adult life is controlled by this demon. He also teases the subject of his next video.
I wanted to talk to you guys about my latest video, at least just tease it. But I'm going to be addressing some of the haters in my newest video. All the commentary channels, all the clip channels can get excited for that.
God, dude, we know that this is gonna be awful. Like, nobody has hopes for this. Now, even Klein is in the hot seat because of an old Reddit account, and yep, you did hear that right, Reddit account, as he apparently had an account called _troll, where people screenshotted his account, which was allegedly him basically doing these edgy kind of weird jokes. You can see the screenshots here. I mean, these scenarios are talking about his little black child, and it's just weird, right? And as it turns out, Ethan admitted on Instagram that this was his account. And before you panic, no, it wasn't some confession of actual crimes like he was just fiddling with children down the alleyway or something. No, according to Ethan, it was a character he played back in the day as a part of promoting H3, but the name alone is enough to make everyone go, dude, what? Because, bro, pedo troll, and he's talking about like just almost insensitive stuff. Like, people can argue that this is back in the day, and I also give him some benefit of the doubt, because 15 years ago on the internet, you could really say anything at all, and anything was used to provoke people. People did troll, but this is undeniably weird. On its own, you could shrug it off, but if someone like Destiny, for example, was doing this would be a lot more questionable, considering he's already sharing people's nudes, he was talking to an underage girl, and then doing something like this on top of it would likely be the nail in the coffin. But since it's just one instance of this event, it's somewhat safe to just chalk it up to edgy humor, but it does not mean that this is not a bit weird. Like, bro, come on. Yeah, eventually Ethan had to address it because the criticism was too much, but yeah, he just insisted that it was edgy to promote his YouTube channel back in the day, because it was the wild west of what you could really upload back in the day and get away with on any social media platform. I mean, I doubt any of these guys who knew their digital footprint was going to bite them back so hard in the ass. To put this in context, even Klein is no stranger to edgy comedy. Old school H3 was built on internet troll humor and skits where Ethan would play exaggerated characters and plenty of jokes that would instantly get demonetized nowadays. And yeah, this was old YouTube where edgy was basically the currency of the platform. Everyone was trying to be as shocking as possible because that's what got clicks. I mean, Idubbbz was known for the same, but as you can see, he's the cuck he is now and completely disavows that behavior, and he basically appears like he's just above it and is better than that, which, say what you want about that, but whatever he's done has led him to the position he's in, so I wouldn't really trust anything he has to say, to be honest. And now we have Hassan responding to a chatter accusing him for having a crush on Taylor Loren. And if you don't know, Taylor Loren is this journalist who absolutely has the hardest crush on Hassan. It's not really hard to see. You can see the clips here.
The other thing with Hassan, he's unreasonably good looking, and like Oh,
cool and dresses cool.
tell me about
But
it.
do you know what I mean? Like Hassan would be an influencer no matter what he was saying because he is
Hot.
very attractive and very cool and genuinely a good person too. I will say, like, Hassan is actually a cool, fun, good person.
And what a surprise, you would find him on most of her articles talking about the top 20 creators, things like that. Creators are influencing the space. And she'll just put Hassan there despite his fan base absolutely hating him now and his reputation being destroyed. And in response to all her glazing, Hassan just gave her a lot of grace in return.
Dude, you spent half a day on this shit. I know you have a thing for Taylor, but enough. Okay. I think you should see yourself out of this community forever. That's a perma.
I swear, dude, every time I see a clip of this guy, it's just his chat finally learning that they have a brain and they can actually fight back. And it's just always questioning him. Like, dude, isn't this bad or isn't this something that you shouldn't agree with? And he always is just justifying the wrong opinion. Like, how can you be this bad, bro? And personally, I don't actually believe he has a crush on Taylor Loren. I believe he finds her repulsive, but since she did so much glazing for him, that he has to almost return the favor and keep the person that validates him the most. Because if he loses that, what does he have? The fact of that clip as well, he says, I think you should see yourself out of this community. That's a perma. Like, bro, this just shows that if you don't agree with him, you're out. And this is exactly what happened with Bad Empanada. This is exactly what happened with Ethan Klein. If you're not with him, you're out. And that's what it is. That's why I don't get the people who hang around him, because are they aware that if you will disagree with him one instance, you're out just like that? I mean, imagine if you had a friend that every time you had a slight disagreement with, that they would just cut you off. Like, that is the most insufferable kind of person. Yet we prop these up as some sort of like social media figures that we should look at and admire. Like, Hassan is the same regard who will literally promote and not disavow terrorism. There's a clip of him debating a guy about Hamas being wrong and is blatantly a terrorist group.
Went in to a music festival and murdered hundreds of teenagers in cold blood, and often massacred and mutilated them in ways that we have on camera. And that is deeply traumatic to me.
Do you think that I think that it was wholeheartedly justifiable?
I think certainly you haven't been very clear in your condemnations at times, and I've watched what you've said.
I think it's important to understand the historical context in which violent resistance
There's no context for murdering hundreds of teenagers, is there?
I think that yes, I think
really?
there is. Yes, I think that it's important to understand the context in which violent resistance has evolved, whether it be Hamas or whether it be any militancy.
There's time for nuance, and there's also time to say something is unequivocally evil, and something is unequivocally unjustifiable. But to actually fix this conflict and gain trust with people, you need to say that unequivocally about the murder of hundreds of teenagers at the Supernova Music Festival, their mutilation, and often their rape. And I don't know why you can't say that.
These aren't barbaric monsters. That these are horrifying atrocities that they did, right? But that it is not coming out of a place of this antiquated anti-Semitic tendencies.
You could just see him here trying his best to avoid answering the question, to avoid disavowing terrorists. Like, is it that hard to just be a normal human who has nuanced takes? I don't know. But when you're operating this kind of sphere, honestly, you've got to say the most out there, wild opinion. That's how you get the most clicks. And that's how it's been for the longest time. If you don't see it, you're too far gone, man. Politics is never anything you should soak too much time into. Now, Hassan is seen here doxing people. This is just about as far as it gets, man, and it probably will get worse. It seems that every time Hassan makes any action, it's just 10 times worse on the Richter scale than the action previous. This is sad, bro. Now, the article that he was looking at in the previous clip was by Tin Lorenz, and it was talking about certain creators who were confirmed to be paid by certain political platforms to push that agenda. And essentially, the private information of these people got released in documents showing their payments. The documents showed their full names, their entire address, their emails, and the amount they got paid for the service. Seen here in a tweet posted by Bad Empanada. Yes, that same guy who literally got kicked out of Hassan's orbit. And Hassan is seen here just streaming this, just doxing people shamelessly. Even someone in his chat says, "Isn't this illegal?" Which, Yes, it is, and it's always interesting when I see how Hassan's chat is now. I mean, it only seems like people that just don't like him anymore, and they're just always questioning him. And you know what's bad when these people who were so brainwashed are now retaliating, and they're actually fighting back? Because every clip I see of him is just him going back and forward with his fans, arguing with them, saying he's fed up, saying he's annoyed about this, annoyed about that. Like, bro, when are you going to have a good opinion or do anything good? Like, now he's doxing people? Doxing? Bro, there is no way, bro. I just don't know what to say from here. Like, he deserves to be banned forever, like out of everything he's done combined. If you added them up, this is like a lifetime jail sentence, but in Twitch terms. There's no way. Not disavowing terrorists, actively promoting shooters, like this guy has done it all, and Twitch just sits there, allows him to do it because I guess they agree? I don't know. It is truly sad. Legal Mindset also commented on the situation, saying this is highly illegal. Hassan is either intending to harass or being grossly negligent, which that is clear. Like it's almost like he's just making these stupid decisions just on purpose. And the fact that Twitch is openly allowing this harassment and doxing is wild. And I do agree, he needs to be banned. So what do you think about this? And I don't really have any opinion on it. I just don't agree with his behavior, but I know for an absolute fact it's gonna get so much worse. He's just gonna keep making mistake after mistake because you're your own worst enemy, and it's obvious here. Anyways, subscribe or Hassan will lick the foot that sticks out the end of your bed.